probably the best way to start this Cardano video is just by recognizing the fact that a lot of people out there think we're entering a bear market, and that's completely cool. Everybody can have their opinions. So I just want to, from a data perspective on this monthly chart, and then we're going to really dig into the weekly chart. I just want to say, if you think the bear market is starting, and you're one of two people right now, really. You think the bear market's starting, you think we still have a good amount of bull market left. But we see this RSI right here crossing above this moving average line. So basically this was the bull market for ADA, and many charts look the same. Ethereum, as you know, has not even broken its all-time high, hasn't even broken March 2024 highs. But this was the bull market for ADA is what you are saying, and it's over. And now we're going back down, and everything, all the bullish sentiment that was here 2 months ago means nothing. Or you're in the camp of people that looks at this chart and you're looking at the data and you're looking at the cycles, meaning post-halving, right? Here's the halving right here in yellow, this yellow line. Here's last halving. And you're looking at this move and you're just you're not saying it's going to repeat exactly, but you're seeing some similarities, right? On this monthly chart. We have the RSI retracing to a moving average area, RSI retracing to a moving average area. We have the monthly chart. This is a monthly chart consolidating to the 20-week moving average. When did this happen? Right before ADA went parabolic last cycle. And it's happening right now, consolidating to that moving average, the 20-week moving average. Those are just some very general, simple data points on a monthly chart that I think really help just draw the line between a bull and a bear right now, because you look at those data points alone and you can draw your conclusions. But if we start digging into the charts, I think things get even more interesting. And we're going to look at actually this time frame last cycle compared to this time frame this cycle. And before I even dive into the ADA charts, I want to just go over some things. First off, I bought more ADA today. And trust me, I do know, especially when I buy, it's usually not the bottom. So I know it could probably go lower. I'm not saying it's going to go lower, but it could go lower. It's fine. I'm a macro person, if it's not obvious on this chart. I'm a macro person. I have patience. Fundamentally, I think Cardano is a top blockchain that has so much growth. So as a value investor, sitting at like $20-some billion market cap at 67 cents, I'm here for it, right? That's number one. But look what happened, everybody. Big news. SEC posted their acknowledgement of Grayscale Cardano ETF application. So Paul posting this on X, SEC's initial decision deadline, approve, deny, or extend. This is what we're waiting for. So that's April 10th. I mean, we're just about to enter March. We're just over a month away from seeing if the SEC approves, right? The final deadline, if they do extend, would be October 22nd. That's a max of 240-day review period. But all the while, everybody, this is what's happening in Cardano land, besides all of the other Cardano news that we've been covering nonstop. And this is happening while, if you look at the ADA chart, this is daily, ADA is falling. It's on the daily, it's falling. We're going to zoom in on these short-term charts to kind of get an update of where we are. We've been covering this entire move since capitulation, right? And we've talked really about exactly what's happening, and it's happening. But before I do, everybody, it's a weekly chart. I just want to point something to your attention. I want to look at a bunch of points that I made here, starting with two 20 moving averages crossing at the left shoulder and right shoulder. So I want to point your attention to this left shoulder here. You see this left shoulder? And by the way, what I'm doing is I'm going back and I'm looking at this move back here. What was happening all back here with this move? So we have a left shoulder. You see that 20 moving average just kind of crossing to the downside below the 50, the green below the blue? That move was happening most recently, and that was happening in December 2023. If we go back last cycle and we kind of look at the similar setup with this head and shoulders, check it out. Left shoulder, 20 moving average crossing below that 50 moving average. So left shoulder and that 20 falling below the 50, that is there. Then we have the right shoulder consolidation between the 20 and the 50. What this means is we have the left shoulder, the head, The right shoulder right now in formation. It is not guaranteed that we're going to get it, but you can see currently consolidating between the 50 and the 20-week moving average. If we go to last cycle in this move, what happened before the big breakout? It was left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and we have consolidation between the 20 and the 50. Some of you might be looking at this chart like, what chart is this? This doesn't make any sense. And I just want to tell you, it is the ADA chart inverted. I'm sure many of you already know that, but it's such a healthy exercise to look at this chart because all of a sudden, any barrier to thinking that ADA could actually break out of this head and shoulders is kind of removed, right? Because we're really doing away with emotion for sure, and we're just looking at data. And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm considering just the data, just the structure of the charts. And I think flipping it helps because if we go here and we look at the chart regular, right? It's kind of like, man, it's just not going to happen. We're breaking down. It's over, right? But when we really start considering what is happening, we do it on the inverted chart. I think it makes it helpful in some way. And hopefully you understand what I'm saying. RSI consolidation at 50. So all the while, right now, the consolidation on the RSI has cooled out of overbought, and we are entering right around 50 on the RSI, right? This is what happened back here at the right shoulder. Right now, we're in the right shoulder formation. We're in that very similar territory. You can even just see the stock RSI, quicker moving momentum oscillator, during that right shoulder setup, also falling to where ADA is right now. And then lastly, overbought right shoulder touch at neckline. So overbought right shoulder touch at the neckline. What is that? Look at it. You see it? Last cycle? There it is. That right shoulder move off of, or I should say away from the 50 and the 20. It's right here. Is ADA going to make that move? That's the setup. That's the right shoulder setup. And ADA right now consolidating around 50 on the RSI is potentially setting it up. But again, I digress from that. Right now, it's just a matter of just tracking what happens here. Do we get a nice move where, and let me flip it regular now because I know, are we going to get a nice move where we're actually going to see support here at the 50-week moving average, but above the 50, below the 20, similar to what happened as we were just discussing back here in this move? Maybe, maybe not. It might not happen, right? In which case, we're going to have to probably evaluate the Fibonacci. It's a swing low to swing high. We'll have to evaluate that entire range. So that's down there a little bit below the 50-week moving average of 53 cents. Are we going to get capitulation to that area? We already had one capitulation back here in February, the beginning of February. So that's a price point we can discuss. But on the short term right now, week by week, until we get down there, I'll be tracking what's up with the 50-week moving average. Zooming in on the daily chart, here's where we are on the daily. We're still actually just in this falling channel consolidation on ADA right now, and I'm not sure it's going to hold. You can see ADA at this 200-day moving average, and it's very confluent. ADA is right at the bottom of that Fibonacci that we just started charting, right? That Fibonacci is the last bear market low to the bull market high, and I was surprised the other day, as many of you know, that I didn't spot this sooner just to at least track, but it's kind of that entire channel, that green channel. It's a Fibonacci, and I can't believe I missed it, but right now it's a very compelling area to watch for ADA, especially as we have the kind of the confluence of that weekly chart that we just looked at. One thing I really want to mention on the monthly chart, and this is something I didn't really notice until I just was preparing this video. Do you see this first cycle swing high right around 70 cents or so? These candles, a monthly candle closing and opening right around 70 cents. If you just put that line there, I just want to say, as I'm talking about like this new era for crypto, and I think I really do. I think it's going to be really good on the macro, everybody. I don't know on the short term how much lower we go. I don't know how much volatility there would be. I'm a macro investor, I'm a value investor. This is why ADA is such a strong choice for me. But could you imagine we're entering this new era. And while that's happening, if Cardano manages to actually, really flip this entire chart. And what I mean by that is really this 70-cent area has been just kind of this point of struggle for Cardano, right? Resistance there. You can see resistance here in this swing low out of this current bear market. And right now, what if ADA flips that to support? We have a whole new chart ahead of us. So we have years, cycles worth of kind of resistance at that area. And right now, in this movement that Cardano is in, and there's 3 days, 22 hours left of this monthly chart. So this will be interesting to see how this monthly candle closes. But that 70-cent, 71-cent area, very interesting, because if ADA can flip this to be support, or actually just start closing monthly candles strong above it and higher highs, higher lows above it, this could be a really nice bullish indicator as well. So I'm not trying to put hopium or just nonstop bullishness out there, everybody. But when I look at this chart, there's only two ways to look at it. You're bearish and you think we're entering a bear market, or like me, you're just bullish on the data that is presented, especially when we look at all of the other fundamentals playing into not just Cardano, but the crypto space right now. Whales, I see buying. Institutions, I see accumulating from retail capitulation. And for me, that alone is data that is worth paying attention to. Not the anonymous people just flooding my comments lately that are just calling for a bear market and just talking just so much trash. It's crazy. Don't pay attention to them. Look at the data. Look at smart money, especially in fear environments. And I'm going to be talking about fear tomorrow because fear just capitulated even more than what we've been tracking. So that'll be my video, probably talking about altcoins and Bitcoin as well tomorrow morning. So if you're out there, please subscribe, turn notifications on. I appreciate each and every one of you. Hang in there. If you're a bull, if you're just like me and you're just watching these markets and you are macro and you're just like, man, this is crazy. Come on. Hang in there. I appreciate you. I really do. I appreciate your support. So hit the subscribe, hit the like, turn notifications on. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.